Alright everybody, I have a question of the utmost importance. What is the funniest creature to ever grace the world of real life and fiction? If you answered pig,
congratulations!
You probably just guessed from the title, but I will still award you the deepest of riches found in this golden piggy bank. Pigs are classically hilarious, much like the tried and true banana. For example, you can slip on its peel for some slapstick, the association with monkeys.
Our love is stronger than a golden banana.
Pigs are just as lenient. They look ridiculous with a pink palate and curly tail. They're associated with filth and overeating, but at the same time they're pretty cute. With both 1995, my birth year, and 2019 being the year of the pig, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about my favorite appearances of the animal so weirdly common in video games. Starting off this list, we have Wizpig from Diddy Kong Racing on N64. As the name suggests, wait for it, he's a wizard pig. You have truly outdone yourselves, Rare. But he also has the distinction of being an alien invader. This lumbering guy is the game's antagonist, and took over his home planet because he was bored, transforming it into a killer amusement park. But that wasn't enough to curb the monotony, so in searching for excitement, he decided on racing, and began challenging others with the twisted catch that their homeworld would be destroyed if they lost against him. Next up, we have Pigma Dengar, an ex-member of the original Star Fox team and traitor to the heroes. His best friends and fellow pilots were Fox's dad, James McCloud, and Peppy Hare, both of which Pigma betrayed when Andross tempted him with riches. His greed is the reason James was killed, but worst of all is that he has no regrets in disloyalty. He goes as far as to taunt Fox about his dad's murder, and target his former teammate since Peppy escaped the day of the incident. Pigma is so untrustworthy that he even gets kicked off the enemy team, Star Wolf, and begins life as a freelance thief. The next time he seriously causes mischief for the main cast, it leads to his demise. Pigma becomes infected with an alien parasite called Aporoid, morphing into this abomination that Star Fox ultimately destroys. He's resurrected later into some tech that's barely able to speak, but is defeated again, and seemingly for good this time. Alright, so for number 3 we have a pig from the Mario series. But with as vast a franchise as Mario is, which one is it? There's a few species to choose from: the Three Little Pig Heads boss in Super Mario Land 2, this strangely adorable thing called Poink in Sunshine, but I think for the very best we have to consult the RPG series, and not Mario and Luigi, even though Midbus is pretty cool. No, my vote goes to Paper Mario's Lil Oinks. These fellas that come in a variety of different colors and styles. There's white, black, tiger, question mark. This dispensary offers Lil Oink eggs that can be hatched for coins, and a total of 10 can be kept in the pen before the eldest runs away, leaving behind an item based on their type. This becomes the only way to obtain certain elusive items after they've all been found, so there's practicality to this silly side quest. And you know, I always love offbeat stuff like this the developers include. It's reminiscent of Sonic Adventure and its sequel with the Chow Gardens. It's simple fun as something to return to check in on and make sure they're not dead. Their name in Japan is Boo-Boo-san, or Mr. Boo-Boo, similarly named from the sounds pigs apparently make, which is hilarious. Tragically, these creatures have yet to see an appearance from the series since, but they were alluded to in the Thousand Year Door, where inhabitants of Twilight Town are transformed into pigs when the bell tolls. The only other appearance was actually outside the series in Super Smash Bros. 4. At least someone at Nintendo knows what they're doing, but the rest of the company has to open their eyes. It's 2019 and we still don't have Lil Oink amiibo. Poor things though, nobody asked if they wanted to be hatched into existence. They're all just scared little oinks, only knowing a life in containment to then be thrust out into the cruel wilderness. We can only assume they're left to be hunted for the precious items they carry, just like the whackers of this series on the brink of extinction. Let us all take a moment and question the moral integrity of this little oink farm in Toad Town. Moment of silence, please. Moving on to number 2, we have Ganon from the Zelda series. And let me tell you, that was actually a difficult choice because look at how cute these pigs from Wind Waker are. Anyway, Ganondorf is the name of his human form, but who cares about his alternate self when the King of Thieves' true appearance is a primal beast? Just look at him, glorious. King of Darkness, Calamitous One, he's a towering demon many gamers look to as the final boss. Since there's so much to talk about with his 30+ year history, I'll just keep it brief to give my favorite and least favorite version of Ganon. I think my favorite interpretation comes from A Link to the Past. He looks cool, wields a giant trident, and was able to betray the King of Hyrule using his alter ego Aghanim, a wizard priest that acts as the primary enemy for a good portion of the game. I like that Ganon still retains intelligence in this form. He talks to Link, and the story explanation is that he appears this way as a reflection of his greedy inner self. My least favorite is probably not fair, but easily any Ganon appearance in non-Nintendo media. His cartoon variant is annoying with that scratchy voice, and he does this. The Philips CDI games do an even worse job at making him menacing, but I don't think I need to convince anyone of that. Honorable mention. First up, I have got to talk about these Wind Waker pigs. It's the first thing I think about when looking back on the game. Link can interact with any of these 3 wild pigs in a ton of ways. Feed them with bait to uncover buried items, pawn them off for cash, or just throw the poor guys off massive cliffs. You can attack them, and like the infamous cuckoos of the series, they'll become enraged and charge at Link. If they're all gathered and given to this woman, they'll be kept as pets, and can be visited later on in the adventure. Returning to Outset Island, you'll see that the once little black pig, named after you now, stands as a trophy animal that can only be lifted with help from power bracelets. But we are finally here at the number 1 spot, and I'm going to cheat just a little bit. This Earthbound villain isn't really a pig, but at the same time, he absolutely is. His Japanese name is Porky, and he commands an entire army of what he dubs pig masks. The entirety of Mother 3 uses this pig motif for the main cast of antagonists, with squealing generals, a snout logo stamped on all of their tech, and costumes which can look quite formidable. But what I'm impressed with most is that this kid, picked on and abused by his parents for resembling a pig, uses that name calling to build an empire. And that's the real reason why he's number 1 on this list. He's truly a pig because of his sick actions throughout the course of these 2 games. He first turned to the dark side slowly by, serious spoiler warning for both games ahead, betraying Ness and becoming corrupted by this cosmic abomination. Porky really becomes irredeemable in Mother 3 though, where he transforms natural animals into hideous chimera creations, causing the death of Lucas's mom. Then, stealing away his brother Klaus, fallen to that same chimera, to resurrect and assist in the end of the world. Porky is as evil as they get, and as punishment is forced to spend eternity in this sealed capsule, while still feeling no remorse for his actions. But that's about it. Special shout out to the standard pigs of Mother 3. Lucas can talk to them using his telepathic PSI, and the things they say range from fourth wall breaking to foreshadowing of what's to come. Thank you all for watching my New Year's special. I wanted to make a not so serious video, but also bring up some actually interesting parts of games I wouldn't have really been able to talk about otherwise. I recommend my Mario vs. Link romance comparison if you enjoyed this and want something similar in tone. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.